Hey, family, welcome to the Enrolled Agent Hub. In today's video, I want to talk about the Enrolled Agent exam scheduling. So, no, not necessarily how to schedule the exam, but how it's set up so you know how to plan your study schedule around it and life around the exam. Because let's be for real, we're all adults. We all have a lot of different things to do. And if you don't make sitting for this exam and scheduling it priority, it won't be. All right. So before we get into that, if you're new to me, my name is Timlin Bowens, and I am America's favorite EA. But I'm also the owner of Bowens Tax Solutions, which is a virtual firm based in Louisville, Kentucky, that specializes in representing taxpayers who owe the IRS $100,000 or more. Now, check this out. Many moons ago, when I was sitting for the EA exam, there weren't a lot of tutorials or guides to help you prepare for that day. So that's why I've created videos like this one to help you kind of glide through the process. Okay. So if you know anyone else that's sitting for the exam as well, make sure that you not only like this video, but also share it with them. All right. Because sharing is caring. So back to the enrolled agent exam test scheduling. What you want to be mindful of is that there is a blackout period for the exam. Now, this is typically March and April. However, in 2026, they took March, April, May, and June. You won't be able to take the exam until July 1st of 2026 if you are a domestic test taker, which means you're in the United States. If you're an international test taker and you will be using the online proctoring version this year, you won't be able to sit for the exam until September 1st of 2026. But the testing window will still close February 28th of 2027. Now, the reason for this is the IRS, after I'm not sure how many years now, switched the test administrator from being Prometric to PSI. Now, there are 550 different PSI sites that you can take the exam at, but the real upside to the IRS switching the exam to PSI, from what I can tell, is that now online proctoring is available, which means the test is going to be more accessible to more test takers. Okay. Now, keep in mind that when you sit for the exam, there are three different parts. Okay. You have 3.5 hours with two 10-minute breaks during that period. All right. Now, some of you may need the full 3.5 hours. Some of you may only need an hour. I have to admit, I didn't need that full amount of time for any of the exams. And I personally was able to sit for each exam only one time and pass them all on the first go round. Now, a few things have changed with the way the test is done now. So, as I said many moons ago, not too many, right? Because I'm still young, the test didn't cost as much. Now, what you can look for when you go to register on the PSI website is that each exam, so SEE1, Special Enrollment Exam 1, is going to be $317. The same for number 2 and number 3. If you want to live life on the wild side, you could take all three exams in 1 week. Not necessarily something I'd recommend, but it is a possibility. When sitting for the exam and scheduling your test time, remember that you must pass all three parts within a 3-year window. Now, I will say that it is probably going to be easier to take them all within the same testing period because When I say testing period, I mean that July 1st to that February 28th. And the reason being, you're going to still be studying the same tax year material. After the blackout period, the test material is updated. And when you are sitting, you are always looking at information from the most recent tax year. Okay. So when this exam opens up again in July 1st, September 1st for our international test takers, you will be studying material from the 2025 tax year. If you wait past February 28th of 2027, then you'll be looking at the 2026 test or tax year, I'm sorry, which means the materials will change. So my recommendation is to make sure that you get all three parts passed within one testing period. Now, let's say that life happens, you weren't able to study, or maybe you're not a good test taker. You are allowed to take each part up to 4 times within a testing period. So let's say you don't do too hot on number 1, you can take number 1 up to 3 more times after failing it 1 time, okay? Just free information, I'm sure you're good, and that's not going to be your situation. The next thing for you to know is that on each part of the exam, you're looking at 100 multiple choice questions. Okay. So you will have access to scrap paper and pencils so you can write out work for problems, but this is going to all be multiple choice. So when preparing for this, you know your study style. I've talked about learning your study style on the My Enrolled Agent Career podcast. Once you have that down, make sure that when you are scheduling, you're taking into account different life events, right? You are factoring it into your budget. So once you have all of this paid for or all of this planned, it's paid for. You have the money to pay for enrollment once you successfully pass all 3 parts. And then you can go ahead and apply for enrollment with Form 23 to become an enrolled agent. Okay. Now, if you'd like for me to do a video going over what will actually be on the EA exam, so what the different sections cover, let me know down in the comments. If you have any questions about scheduling your enrolled agent exam, let me know that down in the comments as well, okay? And if you found this video helpful, make sure that you subscribe to the channel because I'll regularly be putting out content that will help you on your EA journey, not just to start an EA firm, but also to build and to grow it, all right? I'll see you guys in the next video.